Visitors to the forest enjoy forest walks, camping, picnicking, and is a cool and refreshing environment. An excellent network of trails allows easy access for visitors. Over 300 bird species have been recorded in Mabira Forest, many of which are difficult to see elsewhere in Uganda. The forest is also a source of clean and safe water supplies to the neighboring communities. The source of the Nile is situated close to Jinja town in the southeast of Uganda. The river starts its 6,500-kilometer journey to the Mediterranean Sea in Egypt besides Jinja town and holds the Owen Falls Dam, the source of hydroelectricity for Uganda. River Nile is the longest river in Africa with Lake Victoria as its source. A tour to the Nile takes visitors through another life of adventure. A monument was raised on the spot where John Hannington Speke on July 28, 1862, declared that he could see the source of the River Nile. The source of the Nile is one of Uganda's main tourist attractions. The actual point from which the Nile River emerges from Lake Victoria is marked with heavy metallic bars. The source of the Nile spot and the tree nearby in the lake provide bird-watching opportunities. Close to the source of the Nile are gardens on a 17-acre site. They provide an excellent landscape for relaxation after a long day's journey. The serene gardens are very spacious with a variety of indigenous birds and a number of monkeys that appear at particular times of the day. The gardens provide a good view of Lake Victoria, the world's largest freshwater lake. The site is good for birdwatching, and there are quite a number of restaurants, bars, and cultural entertainment. Bujagali Falls are located some 8 kilometers out of Jinja. They are a spectacular scenery spot with 1 kilometer of raging rapids and forested islands along the Nile with abundance of bird life. Bujagali Falls are distinctive because of the sheer volume of water cascading over the series of low rapids that would otherwise be unremarkable. The luxuriant vegetation covering the river banks and islands, and the startling diversity of bird life attracted by the multitude of fish are stunning. The site and downstream, the falls provide unforgettable fun and travel experience for those who love to adventure. The most exciting activities provided by Adrift Uganda include bungee jumping over a height of 40 meters, the only one of its kind in Uganda. There's also whitewater rafting and river surfing. Lake Victoria is the world's third largest freshwater lake. The lake receives most of its freshwater from direct precipitation. Its largest influent is the Kagera River, the mouth of which lies on the lake's western shore. The only river to leave the lake, the White Nile, also known as Victoria Nile, leaves at Jinja, Uganda, on the lake's north shore. Lake Victoria occupies shallow depression in the East African Plateau and has a maximum depth of 84 meters and an average depth of 20 meters. The lake is divided between 3 countries, Kenya with 6%, Uganda 45%, and Tanzania 49%. The lake's shallowness, limited river inflow, and large surface area relative to its volume make it vulnerable to climate changes. According to records, the lake has dried out 17,300 years ago and filled again beginning 14,700 years ago. Lake Victoria supports Africa's largest inland fishery. Other major activities around the lake include horticulture. The lake provides a waterway that connects the 3 East African countries by water transport. Tourists can enjoy water sports, sport fishing, cool seaside environments, and there are active and busy beaches in all the major towns surrounding the lake. About 15 kilometers east of Kampala City lies Namugongo Martyrs Shrine. On 3rd June 1886, 32 young men were burned to death at Namugongo at the orders of King Mwanga II of Buganda for their refusal to denounce Christianity. He was incensed that the Christians had declared Jesus above him. Some of the men were of the Anglican faith and others were Catholics. By the end of January 1887, a total of 45 martyrs had been killed, 22 Catholics and 23 Protestants. The bulk of the martyrs, 25 of them, were burned where the Protestant shrine stands. Adjacent to the Protestant shrine is a stream where Mukajanga, the chief executioner, washed his hands allegedly to cleanse himself after the killings. Charles Luanga, one of the martyrs, was burned at the site where the Catholic shrine stands, about a kilometer away from the Protestant shrine. A Catholic church has since been constructed in memory of the martyr, and it was constructed in the shape of a traditional Buganda hut. It stands on 22 copper pillars, representing the 22 Catholic martyrs. In front of the main entrance to the church, below the altar, is a spot where Charles Lwanga, the leader of the Catholics, was burnt. The church was consecrated by Pope Paul VI on the 2nd of August 1969, and 22 of the Catholic martyrs were canonized by Pope Paul VI on October 18, 1964, and are regarded as saints in the Catholic Church. According to the Church, the actual number of the killed Christians has never been established. The persecution stamp, embedded in a fig tree that has grown around it, it's clearly visible besides the pile of dummies of martyrs who were burnt to death, wrapped in reeds. A grass-thatched Mukajanga's hut and a chapel where the remains of the martyrs were interred still stand to date. Annually, on June 3rd, Christians from all parts of Uganda, East Africa, and other parts of the world congregate at Namugongo to commemorate the lives of the Ugandan martyrs and their dedication to their religious beliefs. Many walk for hundreds of miles as a sign of commitment, endurance, and faith. Crowds have been estimated in thousands for many years. People from all walks of life attend, including the President of the Republic of Uganda and senior government officials. The faithful bring them several gifts of thanksgiving, which include crop harvests, animals, and many more. However, not everything about Martyrs' Day is religious. Martyrs' Day features prominently on calendars of businessmen and entertainers who rush in to make quick profits from large numbers of pilgrims. It is therefore common to find many stalls in the shrine neighborhood selling alcoholic beverages, foodstuffs, souvenirs, and much more. Ngamba Island is located inside Lake Victoria, about an hour's ride by boat from Entebbe. At this island, a chimpanzee sanctuary has been created to look after orphan chimpanzees. Ngamba Island provides visitors with exciting sceneries of young chimpanzees playing in the wild and imitating human behaviors. Budongo Forest is the largest mahogany forest in East Africa and home to one of the largest populations of chimpanzees in Uganda. The main ecotourism sites are Kaniopapidi and Businjiro. Other major attractions include birding, a popular activity along the Royal Mile. The Royal Mile lies along the road between Nyabweya Forest College and the Budongo Conservation Project. It is said that the Royal Mile was called so because the King of Bunyoro used to visit that part of Budongo Forest for relaxation. Because that stretch of land approximates to 1 mile, it is subsequently named the Royal Mile. To date, the Royal Mile is well maintained and has numerous tracks for forest walks and bird watching. Chimpanzee tracking is the top priority in Budongo Forest. It is also a good place to watch different varieties of monkeys, baboons, amphibians, and insects. Botanists also enjoy the place because it has thousands of species of plants, ranging from smaller herbs and shrubs to the oldest, tallest, and biggest buttress trees in Uganda. The permanent Sonso stream, which runs through the forest, adds to the beauty and is a water source for local communities. Budongo Forest is popular with scientific researchers, especially those who seek to study the behaviors of chimpanzees. Various studies conducted in Budongo and resulting scientific publications have made Budongo Forest the most known forest in Uganda. One of the few places in Uganda to trace the effects of the Second World War is Nyabweya village at the periphery of Budongo Forest. In 1943, the Polish refugees arrived at this very spot with sections of their families. They were mainly women and children and a few old men. The strong men had been retained to fight in the Polish regiment back home, while their families sought refuge from the Nazis in British colonies. Records say that about 2,000 Poles were exiled in Uganda at Nyabyea Masindi since Uganda was a British colony. The Polish refugees built a church after settling at Nyabyea. The walls still rise high and mighty into the sky and bear inscriptions at the main entrance that are unmistakably Polish. Also are similar words in English and Runyoro. At the highest point of the church are 3 crosses and the Polish white eagle on a red shield, their national emblem. The inside of church still holds the same huge poles for roof beams and passion pictures depicting Jesus' last journey to Calvary. Next to the church are several rows of marked graves of Poles who had no choice but to lay their dead on foreign soil. There are 42 marked cement graves with death registered every year from 1943. A number of babies born never lived to see another day. Some were born already dead. In the center of the grave is a raised platform of murram and stone, a monument to the Poles. In early 1949, the Poles left Nyabyea, leaving behind a well-furnished church and their departed. The houses they lived in and what served as a club and school was turned into a forestry college. One of the camp houses has been turned into a college nursery school. In the offing is a Polish-Ugandan society that will be dedicated to keeping records of this history and linking old Poles and Ugandans who witnessed their presence. Lake Albert is shared between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Lake Albert is the northernmost of the chain of lakes in the Great Rift Valley. The maximum depth of the lake is 51 meters. There are traditional fishing communities along the lake shore. One of the best areas to visit is Butiaba, located close to the oil exploration sites in the Rift Valley. The lake shore and beach is still natural, the major activities being fishing and retail trade. The site is good for water sport activities, swimming, and there are camping sites for those who like adventure in the wild. The site is also suitable for bird watching, with several birds nesting in the wetlands along the lake. Fort Portal town is located about 300 kilometers from Kampala city. Fort Portal is named after Sir Gerald Portal, who was a British Special Commissioner for Uganda. The town houses the seat of Toro Kingdom and is a busy commercial center. Situated between the Rwenzori Mountains, Chibali National Park, and Queen Elizabeth National Park, the town gives visitors diverse safari options. Several crater lakes and the Semliki Valley also lie near the town. The local people mainly practice subsistence agriculture for food crops and of recent large-scale tea plantations are on the increase. Amabere Ganyinamwiru site is located about 9 kilometers west of Fort Portal town. It is a limestone site which has stalagmites and stalactites. The stalactites drip the calcium carbonate, commonly known as chalk, to form stalagmites down below. Because many of the stalactites have a breast-shaped form, the locals called them Amabere Ganyinamwiru, literally translated as Nyinamwiru's breasts. Nyinamwiru was the mother of Ndahura, the first Muchwezi king of the Empire of Kitara, which covers this whole region. The site has turned into a tourist attraction. There's a waterfall within the rock shelter and also craters nearby, which have added to the site's beauty and attraction. The trail to the site is also a wonderful experience through a rugged path and slippery terrain. Adjacent the site are dead crater lakes that have been colonized by papyrus wetlands. When the skies are clear, this site also provides a view of the Rwenzori mountain ranges. Chibale Forest National Park is the most accessible of Uganda's major rainforests. It's home to 13 primate species. Chibale's major attraction is the opportunity to track habituated chimpanzees. These delightful apes, more closely related to humans than to any other living creature, are tremendous fun to watch as they squabble and play in fruit trees. A network of shady forest trails provides much to delight botanists and butterfly lovers, while birders are in for a treat with 335 species recorded. Kanyanshu River, that flows through the forest, provides beautiful scenery, while its ecosystem enhances the scenic beauty and biodiversity. The forest is popular with scientific researchers, especially those interested in plant and animal ecology. Rwenzori Mountains National Park covers an area of 996 square kilometers in Kasese District in western Uganda, on the border with the Democratic Republic of Congo. It reaches an altitude of some 5,109 meters. Some peaks of the mountain range are high enough to be permanently snow-capped. There are excellent hiking trails crossing the forested mountain and numerous streams emerging from the mountain. The distinct glacial peaks are visible for miles around, but the slopes above 1,600 meters are the preserve of hikers who rate the Rwenzoris to be the most challenging of all African mountains. The Rwenzoris are notable more for their majestic scenery and varied vegetation. The trails lead through rainforest rattling with monkeys and birds, then tall bamboo forests before emerging on the high-altitude moorland zone, a landscape of bizarre giant lobelias towered over by black rock and white snow. The wildlife is dominated by primates including chimpanzee, colobus monkey, and blue monkey. There are also elephant and leopard. Some of the bird life is unique to the area. A trip into the Rwenzoris is an exhilarating, rewarding experience